Carried. Thank you. Thank you, Ike.
Thank you.
Thank you, Glenda. I told you it'd be quick. Right. Now, where am I doing the... I'm doing the standing orders thing, aren't I? Where is that?
I think you do
Yes.
let them present first.
Yeah, I'll just... Right.
And then standing orders after they've done the presentation.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Righto. We'll now move into our speed limit changes department, and staff have briefed their presentation, so Jacob and Crystal will be there. If the meeting wishes to suspend standing orders consistent with Standing Order 3.5, is everyone happy that we do that? Because what I want to do is we'll have questions on every single one, then we'll have one debate, and then we'll vote on every single one. Otherwise, we'll have debate on every single one. We'll be here for the rest of our life. So, does that make sense? Okay, so... Is that right? Okay, everyone happy? Righto. Well, I need 75, and you've dipped out, sorry. We need a vote on that. So is all those in favour of suspending standing orders consistent with Standing Order 3.5, please say aye. Aye. Against? Thank you, that's carried. So we're now suspended standing orders. So we've got cash. So come up, please. Yes. So we've got Cashmere Sutherland's Road. I'm happy to move option 4, and Andre is happy to second that, I believe.
I'm keen to move the resolution that myself and Councillor Scandrett have sent through to staff.
You do it, yeah, absolutely.
Which is essentially what you've mentioned, but with just 2 notes in addition to which should show up.
Yes, so
very soon.
Andre and Tim are moving and second that. Any questions of this item of the team, please? Right, Tim and then Tyler.
Just double checking on behalf of my colleague and I that this it's not going to affect the priority of the footpath in the area.
The amendments that you were putting forward wouldn't change the priority. I mean, the one thing I should add is no, it'll keep the assessment in the same way. So there may be other footpaths that come in that are assessed higher, and we can't stop that. But it means it doesn't drop down the priority list by virtue of the fact that the speed limit's dropped.
Great. Is that good with you?
The additions to the resolution should just show up in one moment. But in short, it's a blanket 50 everywhere, plus 2 additions. I'll read.
So this is...
There they are now.
Yes, you've moved that, and that's the amendment that you've put up. So I'm just going back to just questions on this one of the staff for the presentation on this one.
Yes, just be aware that the staff have prepared a presentation on these if you want to walk through that, or if you
would you
just
like
want
to do
to
that?
go straight into
Okay.
questions.
Far away, ladies and gentlemen.
Am I up?
Yes.
Can I put it on the screen? Have I got a clicker? Oh yeah, here we go. Wonderful. And it's working and everything. So most of you will have seen this before. I know there's a couple of new councillors. So just to quickly recap where we are. The setting of speed limits rule came in October 2024. And while it was at that time pitched as this rolling back bulk changes, one of the things it also did was mean that any speed limits that you had approved either through the previous council bylaw or through the setting of speed limits rule 2022 that hadn't been installed no longer stood. So if you wanted to keep any of those decisions you'd already made, you had to go through this new process. There's quite a lot to that process. One of the big things that was pulled up in one of the deputations this morning was about the cost-benefit disclosure. I want to be really clear on that. That's a cost-benefit disclosure statement. It's not a cost-benefit analysis. It follows very strict NZTA rules about how it's done. It doesn't look wider at wider benefits, so you should see it in that context. You don't have to follow it, but you can do, but you have to take it into account in the decision you make. That's what the law says, so that's why it's up there. In here, all the options we've put up, we believe are compliant with the rule, and therefore you can select those today. What I'm really wary of, and I want to make really clear, is that if you pick other options, you potentially can't select those today, either because they're not compliant with the rule, or because you haven't had the information supplied to you, or because you haven't done the consultation. So if you suddenly decide you want to, I don't know, make a bigger area 40 than we've said, we haven't done the analysis, we'd have to go and reconsult. So if you want to come up with something different, you'd probably have to lay it on the table, give us an instruction to go away and do it. We'll find out the information, potentially do the consultation and come back to you again.
So what you're saying is we can vote one way or another on the options, but don't play around and make the option areas bigger or smaller or play with it.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And that's one of the, sorry. So it's a really relevant question, because one of the deputations this morning was about making an area 40 along Cashmere Road. I don't know if that's technically possible. We haven't actually looked at it, but one thing I do know is you haven't consulted on that, so you cannot make that decision today. We would have to go away and reconsult on that if it's something that you wanted to pursue.
Please
Okay.
carry on. Please carry on.
All right. Sorry to labour that point, but it's really important. I think I won't spend too much time on this, but the area here is all 60. You can see the context around it. It's grown around there quite a lot in the last 5 or 6 years, and that 60 sort of stands out. Even the state highway in that area is 50. So it does feel like it's becoming a more residential area, and that's why we're bringing this report to you on that. The South East Central Neighbourhood and Takaha Streets, I've put those up. When we initially came to you a few months ago about this, we talked about the Takaha Streets, and then we talked about Worcester Streets. And one of the a bit of feedback that we got from you was about how that creates an incoherent speed limit area. So we then consulted on 2 extra bits of street, which I put in there, so a little bit more of Barbados and a bit of Hereford, so that you then create this bigger 40 zone. So I think, I'm not telling you how to do your job, but I would bear those 2 reports in mind and make decisions on them, thinking about them in the whole. Because I think otherwise you could potentially end up with quite perverse outcomes there. MCR Norwest Arc, I think, is quite straightforward. It was initially 40. We've had to reconsult. We've reconsulted, and that's the area. Antigua Street is much the same. It was said to be 30. We can't put in 30 because of the rule. We've reconsulted on 40 as you instructed, and here we are. The Waimakariri Road and Whitchurch Place is the last one, and probably the other odd one. When the hearings panel for Wheels to Wings made its recommendation, it recommended that area was 50 with a 40 variable for school speed limits. We can't put in 40 variables, but we can put in 30 variables under the rule, which is what you voted for in August. So we now have a 30 variable during school speed travel times, during school travel times, but you've got Harewood Road at 50, and you've got a change between 50 and 60 in the middle of that school variable zone. So if you actually go out there, there's a 60 zone, there's a 60 sign in the middle of the 30 variable, which is quite confusing. And either way, we'll change that, but this is trying to make just that little corner a little bit more consistent and coherent. So that's what's up in front of you. I'll pass to you.
Cool. I won't go into the submissions too much because everything's in the reports, but I just wanted to cover off high level for you. The reports there that are identified in the light green are obviously where the majority of submitters are in favour of all the proposed speeds. The darker green is where most of our submitters were in favour, and then of course the red one there is where we had the majority actually not in favour for some. And I just wanted to address The reasons why submitters said they weren't in favour for the Cashmere, Sutherland, Toon Hay was particularly around the need for footpaths on those roads. So we had 126 comments about footpaths, which is quite a lot. And we also had a number of submitters talk about how they would be okay with 50 kilometre speed limit on those roads, but not a 40. So there was 43 comments in that nature.
And then the last slide is hopefully just to make it a bit easier. So that's the 6 reports, that's all the options that you've been given. The bits that are highlighted in yellow are what we consulted on. Then you can see that what the feedback is being given on. So hopefully that just helps you in the decisions you're making.
Yes, so I've got 3 questions, Tyler, Nathaniel and Pauline.
Kia ora, guys. Just referring to the options on here. So the yellow is what we consulted on. Option 1 across are the ones where you're based off submissions or there's been significant support for the recommendations that you've had at the top. I'm just referring to Cashmere Sutherland's there. So you consulted on option 3, where it has it in line, but the majority of the submissions wanted option 1, just to be clear.
No, I'll let you speak to consultation.
So for consultation, we consulted on, let me just bring it up.
Because I was under the understanding that they just wanted to keep it at 50, but I might be wrong.
Yeah.
So there was a number of submitters who wanted to keep it at 50. So 43 made comments about keeping the speed limit at 50 throughout the whole sort of area. But there was, so we did consult on some of the 40s and there was support for some of the 40s, but the predominant support was around changing from 60 to 50 rather than 60 to 40.
So there are specific references to 40 kilometre zones in hotspots, which people talked about quite a lot. But in general, they were looking at 50 blanket across those roads. Great.
And so the recommendation we've made is trying to limit those 40 areas to just where there aren't footpaths, and therefore there's the greatest risk.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Nathaniel, please.
Yeah, just on the South Central and Te Kaha. So because they're connected, I'm assuming that the whole will be cheaper than the sum of the parts, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's yes, it would be a little bit cheaper.
Yeah,
yes,
would it be quite a bit cheaper because we're basically moving those exits to a further point?
Yes, you'd probably lose 2 signs, I would think. So
it's not a huge amount, actually.
No.
Okay, good to know. Thanks.
Thank you, Pauline.
Thank you. Mine's on Antigua. So when we redesigned Antigua Street to make it cycle pedestrian and car friendly, we had in mind that the speed zone at that point would be 30, and now we're recommending 40, but we've had a deputation to say, well, why bother? Because of the design is actually making it prohibitive to do anything more than even 50. Do we have any legal requirement to mark the speed to align with our street design?
No. The reason we've brought the report to you is because we recommended back in August that we didn't consult, and you, as council, the council decision was that we consult on that as a 40, so we've done so and brought the report back.
Yep, so we have no obligation to actually
No, if you leave it at 50, that's a perfectly reasonable and legal thing to do.
Thank you.
Okay. Got you, Tyler. Yanni, please.
Cool. Thank you. So you said a lot of submitters made comments on footpaths, and I see some talked about cycling quite a lot as well. So I'm just trying to understand, like, it seems that we can't really separate the conversation around speed limits from the provision of footpaths and the roading network. As such, I'm really keen to understand what looking we've done at the Southwest Area Plan around the types of transport improvements are going to be made to cycling, pedestrians, and the roading network to get safer outcomes, given that that's kind of the focus of the submissions. Is anyone looking at what we've currently got on budget for the Southwest Area Plan and what projects we have to improve safety?
I think that would be assessed as part of the LTP. It's not a...
Right.
This is about dealing with the issue we have in that area at this moment.
So in terms of the consultation then, did we approach the steering group for the Southwest Area Plan to get their feedback? Do we have feedback from the steering group as to what they support?
No, we haven't, no.
Okay. And how, like, I'm just trying to understand like how we can sort of do these things in isolation around land use planning, putting a whole, lots of housing, but then have this kind of debate about where footpaths that aren't there should be going, and then seem to have no plan that residents can understand other than changing speed limits. Is there a gap in our process?
We're only talking about the speed limits at these.
Sorry, there's multiple submissions that talk about do the speed limit if there's not a footpath. If there's a footpath, don't do the speed limit. Like that was like so many people in the submissions have talked about safer pedestrian and safer cycling infrastructure relevant to the point around what speed limit should be set. And I'm just trying to understand like how do we address those concerns so that people can see what we're doing.
We use the new footpaths programme. So Sutherland's Road and the north-eastern end of Cashmere Road are already in the new footpaths programme, as the councillor confirmed earlier on. And the other bits are being assessed. And then just for clarity, the section between Sutherland's Road and the quarry, we're looking at the sort of early planning and early scoping, because there are some pretty significant structures I think we would have to build in that area. So it's not something we could just roll off the shelf.
It's not an easy one. No.
And so just so I'm clear in terms of the decision on the speed limits, is there any plan in terms of the plan to build the new road and turn Cashmere into a local road? Is there any plans in place to do that, or is that not happening?
Not at present. There's no way through. At the moment, there's a private piece of land, and there's no way a road could go through there at the moment.
Thank you, Yannick. Now, just to put a line in the sand, I'm going to actually say to Katie, I'm going to move, and Sam's happy to second, number 7, option 3, number 8, option 2, number 9, option 2. Just say, because then everyone's got a line in the sand, they can go with it, not go with it, whatever.
Gets attention.
Okay, so Katie, where are you?
Do you mind if I make one more point? Sorry.
An opportunity to comment later, you just get them down on
It's about the resolution.
Option 10. Oh, sorry, item 10.
Yeah, no, besides that.
No. And item 11. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, Katie's going to have to build all that in, but we've still got questions, and Melanie's got a hand up. And Jay.
I'm going to foreshadow the staff rec on all the ones you just did.
Okay.
I'm gonna
okay.
Who's
So,
seconding?
I'm gonna foreshadow the Southwest Area Plan implementation plan.
The next question is from, I got you, Tyler. Aaron.
I've got a couple of questions around South Central and the Takaha streets. Firstly, in one of the deputations, Nikki Carter stated that it increases traffic by 30,000 hours a year. Did you... traffic vehicles, well, cars, vans, buses, SUVs, but do you agree or disagree with that statement?
We haven't done any analysis. It follows NZTA's rules around how that cost-benefit disclosure is done. Sorry.
So the cost-benefit disclosure statement is using an NZTA tool that they have created. It is just inputting all the different speeds that we've got from TomTom, and then it generates those numbers. Yep. So yes, those numbers that are in the cost-benefit disclosure statement is following best practice of doing that.
So the 30,000 hours increase is accurate-ish? Approximate?
Yeah. We haven't done it for the real, since it's been installed. In terms of the speeds, as you can see in there as well, that the operating speeds is already below the 40 k's an hour proposed speed limit too.
You're good, Aaron?
Yeah, right. Yep. So, well, just because in point under climate change impact considerations, it says safe speeds contribute to emissions reduction, but 30,000 vehicle hours travelled is 22.5 tonnes per 1,000 hours. That is a lot of emissions. So you get more emissions, but slowly more emissions. No, there's. Well, just so I'm just questioning that.
We've got no statement on that. I mean,
You can't. I mean, to
gen-
Nathaniel's point, I don't think you can run an engine for 30,000 hours and have no emissions.
No, that's true. That's true. The information we've given you follows the process that we have to do to change speed limits, and that's the information you've got. So
Okay.
you can
Thank
So-
you.
and then
you
my-
take that into account when you make your decision.
My other one is what happens when there's events at the stadium, especially the large ones, which bring lots of people, is the idea of them. What's the traffic management plan? Are all the streets open as per normal? Are there changes? Is there traffic management in place? Are we going to chuck out some cones?
I don't know how to work the machine, sorry. Through the chair, there will be briefings on that in the new year, and it will depend on what is planned by VO and how it is worked through. But we are working through with VO and all the stakeholders in relation to that at the moment. It depends on the event. It depends on the expected traffic patterns. It depends on a lot of things. So there will still be temporary traffic management plans in place for events.
Right, so the need for changing the speeds is not there if we have, because that's the point of a temporary traffic. You got an anomaly in transport movements, so you bring in a temporary plan. That's the idea of it. So that deals with the issues around there being lots of people on these streets. Yeah, goes out the door.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. Right, Mark, please.
Thank you. Just picking up on one of the submitters, he showed us some photographs around the Cashmere Road area, and one of the problems was overgrown verges not being maintained, therefore runners having to go on roads. Is it possible out of this process to get some extra maintenance on those verges to make them more passable for the pedestrians?
Sorry, councillor, that needs to be a ticket. It's not relevant to this decision. We'll deal with that through tickets.
Okay.
So when you have those issues, they need to be logged as a ticket through the system.
So you want us to go out there and photograph it and send it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, all I'm saying is I've got a photo here that's got long grass and people have to go on the road. Can we get it cut?
Councillor, it's a maintenance issue and it will get dealt with through the tickets.
Okay, Marcus, you done? Right. Tyler.
Kia ora, guys. I've got a few questions. The first one is around the car movements per day. So off the top of my head, we've got Barbados at 16,000 per day, Madras at 13,000 per day. Can you please tell me the other ones that have major arterials on it? Are they in the 10,000s for the major movers? I'm thinking like the Barbados is.
So it's in the cost benefit disclosure statement there.
Yeah.
But yes, the only ones in there are Litchfield is sitting at 6,000.
Yeah.
Litchfield East is sitting at 770, and then Duke Street's at 70. The rest of them.
770.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have options here. One of the obvious contentious ones, as usual, is the 10-kilometre speed limit. Is there an option for the 40-kilometre plus a 30-kilometre on the Litchfield Street West? Even though I know that no one's going to go 30k down Litchfield Street West.
Sorry, say that again.
So we've got three options here.
Yeah.
So you've got 40k plus 10.
Yeah.
You've got 50k plus 30, but there's no 40k plus 30. Is that allowed? Is the question?
Yeah, to me.
Hang on.
Because if it's existing, then therefore it's just status quo. Don't need to change anything, but we could still change 40. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Yes, I think yeah.
Yep. Okay, great. So then, if we're thinking about finding middle ground, of which I'm really disappointed that the movers didn't look at that, I'm wondering if, since we put aside standing orders, Phil, I'm wondering if we could try and find some middle ground to try and get some answers on this, because that was a sort of no surprise. It was a surprise to us. I think there might be able to be some collegial options to be able to find some resolutions within this once the resolutions are popped up through Katie. Because otherwise you're just going to have your resolutions and then maybe probably the staff rec, which Mel's moved, and then nobody's happy. Which option? All of them, the ones that Phil's recommended.
Think about,
So once the resolutions are popped up, Phil, it would be cool to see them. So maybe we can find some middle ground before we vote on it.
Oh, absolutely. We might have 5 minutes chitter chatter.
Great.
Yeah.
Because we've got a mover and seconder, so you might have to retract it in order to change it.
Okay, Pauline, please.
Yes, the submitter, Jeff, was asking if there was a current speed assessment on Antigua Street, and if so, what is it? Do you know?
Since the new layout's gone in, no, we haven't done traffic counts on there yet.
Right. That's a shame.
Thank you. Melanie? You done? Yanni?
So the idea that we just have one blanket rule of 40k throughout the 4 Avs, if we wanted to do that, what's the best way to do that? Recognising that I did raise it in our briefing when we had on this.
It's not part of what's in front of us today, is it?
Yeah, for all the streets. Like I said, at the time, we're trying to manage projects where you'd made a decision, but that decision can no longer stand. And that's all we're trying to manage through these reports.
Sorry,
we're not trying
sure.
to...
So, but just trying to understand, like, if we wanted to look at 40k across the 4 Avs, just as a blanket rule, we would have to go out for a consultation.
Yeah.
And we'd have to, and what's the information? Would we have to do, basically like you've done for each of these streets, we'd have to have that information in the proposal.
Yeah.
And how much work would that be to do that?
Quite a significant amount of work. The other point, sorry, that David keeps pointing at me, is that the rule is quite prescriptive around where you're allowed 40s and where you're allowed 50s. So we would have to then judge which are normal urban streets and which are quote unquote urban streets with the significant levels of pedestrian and or cycling activity, because they're the only ones where you're allowed to put 40.
Okay, so if I looked at the map that you had right at the start of your presentation, I don't know if you can bring that back up, please.
I think we're too busy trying to get the routes in the...
Oh, okay. So basically, I saw the Latimer Square, Madras Street, goes up to Hereford Street at 40. It goes around the corner, Worcester Street, Gloucester Street, and then up, and it's 50. So I'm just trying to understand. Like, it seems completely illogical where you've got a significant crossing point on Worcester Latimer Square. You've got the hotels, the high-density residential that's been built, the children's playground not too far away.
Mate, we're out of... I know you're going to keep talking, but we're out of... This is out of the scope of what we're talking about, isn't it?
Well, we just got the presentation at the start to say to look at this in the context of both of these areas. So I was just...
I'm the chief.
I was just trying to understand why we didn't look at that area as part of this, and whether there's any other work being done to look at that area.
Yeah, thank you. Carry on, rewardless. Aaron, please.
Yeah, just on the blanket speed for consistency, do we have to consult to make the entire Linwood Ward 40k an hour?
You would have to, yes.
Right. Now, so, should we do debate?
Shall I just explain where we're at in case anybody's confused? So these are the 6 reports that you've got in front of you. Can you hear me? 6 reports, look down them that way. So what we have is, in the report, with the recommendations, the Mayor has made a motion and it's been seconded by Councillor McDonald for 4. and we have a foreshadowed motion by Councillor Coker, seconded by Councillor Cotter, for the yellow one, which is reduced to 50, number 3, which is the staff recommendation. The next one, number 4, the Mayor has motion is to leave at 50, and we have a foreshadowed one to staff rec. Te Kaha Streets, the Mayor has a motion on the table to leave at 50 with 30k on Litchfield Street, and a foreshadowed motion which again staff rec. MCR, the Mayor has a motion to leave at 50 with a foreshadowed motion to change to 40. Antigua, Mayor leave at 50, foreshadowed motion to 40, and both the motion, we just have one motion which is for the Waimakariri to change to 50 and no foreshadowed motion.
Just one, that all sounds really good. I think on the first one though, it was Andre and Tim that had moved it, a particular one. Yeah.
And they've got a small amendment
and some stuff. Yep.
to make things a lot clearer.
Apologies, sorry about that.
Okay,
That's good.
so
And so can I just clarify, you need a seconder for Antigua? You got a seconder?
No, the second, I thought.
I seconded all but Antigua.
Oh, okay, so.
right,
Thanks.
hang on. Everyone's waving the arms around. We've got Tyler, and then Yanni, and then Celeste.
I've just got a question for Councillor Coker, if she'd be open to, for the Te Kaha Streets, even though you're passing staff rec, I'm not sure if it's in order, but change to 40 kilometres, but status quo for Litchfield Street West at 30 kilometres. It can be because we won't make any changes to it. It's already 30 kilometres. So only change 40 kilometres on the Te Kaha Streets. Leave Litchfield Street West as is.
Do we want to have 10 minutes to sort this out amongst ourselves?
I don't think we don't need 10 minutes. No, this is just whether she's prepared to.
Okay, is that like a double foreshadowed? Because we've got, I mean, we've got Phil's alternative, then we've got your foreshadowed. I'm not sure where we stand in the process. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we need to take a break.
So, yeah, we're just working on that with the team because we're throwing a cat amongst the pigeons a bit here.
Right.
All right.
So it would need to be another foreshadowed one, another foreshadowed motion.
Okay.
So we'd have
I'll foreshadow that option.
So we'd put the Mayor's motion, and if it was lost, we'd go to the foreshadowed one by Councillor Coco.
Yeah.
Coco. If it was lost, we could then go to yours.
Okay, great. Yep, I'm happy with that.
All right. Thank you.
Which, that was item...
That's the Te Kaha Streets, 40 and 30.
Yeah. Okay, you're good, Toles. Yanni, please.
Yeah, can you just clarify in regards to the Mayor's recommendation on the southeast central, the leave at 50 means that Worcester Street will be left at 30, or will it be reverting up to 50?
Up to 50.
So, okay, is that an option that we can do?
Worcester Street is currently 50. So if you vote against the staff recommendation, it goes to 50. Or it stays at 50, I should say.
Oh, okay, so
yeah,
we don't have the 30k on Worcester Street yet?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, thank you. And Celeste, down. All done. Now, we should just go into debate, I'd imagine. Or do you want to break to have a yarn? Right, what we'll do is we'll go into debate, okay? And we debate the whole lot. Open slather, go for your life, and see you in 3 hours. So,
Can I just...
But we'll vote for each of them separately.
exactly,
Yep.
exactly. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your patience. This is good. We've Katie's up to her neck in it here, so it's good. So we'll have debate on the whole lot. If you want to, just go for your life. Who would like to be first? Timothy.
Thank you. I want to thank Andre to get where we have with our areas, because it is our area, because Kashmir Road goes through both of our areas, and with the true, actually, I do apologise, Melanie. Oh, Auntie Coco. And there's more and more issues with people that they will not run on the grass because they injure themselves. They will get and they walk on the grass. We've built these amazing Te Kura wetlands, which they have to walk on the road to get to. It's bloody ridiculous. So I'm so pleased that we've come to a common sense point, and I hope that at some point we can extend it to Kashmir Road, true, where it meets Henderson's Road, etc. So we've got a lot more work to do in there. And with Antiguous Street, I can only commend Jeff Bone for coming here. I drive down there almost every day, and there is no way you can exceed 30 k's. It's, you know, and those humps, I love them because it makes sure people can't go over 30 k's. With Te Kaha streets, I don't know why we're looking at this. Every large event that we have had in this city for last 40 years, which sadly I have been involved with, has had traffic management. There is no question about that. And I can remember way back in the day, public walking across Brown Street to get to Opawa Road, to cross Opawa Road, to get to the railway lines, to cross the railway lines, to then go to the traffic management. No one cared about the public crossing Brown Street. No one cared about the public crossing Opawa Road. But they did care, and it's quite right that they do put traffic management around Lancaster Park. Electric Avenue has traffic management. Christmas in the Park has traffic management. Everything big has traffic management. To suggest that we put electronic signs is totally ridiculous. If you want to spend 320 grand, put some footpaths in our area. That'd be bloody good. So I'm going to support some of them, our one, and also the 50 k's around Te Kaha and Antiguous Street. Thank you.
Okie dokie. Who would like to be next? Ooh. Pauline?
Look, interesting. It's quite, in my view, it's quite sad that we're doing this all again anyway and costing the ratepayer money, but I'll be supporting the foreshadowed motion, obviously being seconder, except for Antiguous Street, because to me that deputation made a lot of sense, and I agree with Councillor Scan, you can't go over 30 anywhere on there, which our street design and the money that we spent on there is actually serving its purpose really well. So that's where I am today. Cheers.
Okay, so you're right, Katie, to put this. Oh no, she's still. Do you need a couple of minutes?
Would you like 6? Are you ready for 6? Item 6.
Yes, please. Yes. If you need a couple of minutes, let us know. Don't panic.
We can get you 6.
Yep. Be very clear. Yeah. Yes, option 4. Yes, for item 6, option 4.
With the addition.
With the what Tim and Andre put in.
So do people want to take a moment to read that? So
And to summarise the notes, they basically mean that lowering the speed limits to 50 won't impact the prioritisation of footpaths along the section yet.
Okay. Right. So sorry, Katie. If I say go on this one.
we'll just get the whole motion on screen so you know what you're voting for.
All right? Yep. Okay. So, yeah, I'll open the. Sorry, Katie.
No, you're good.
Okay. I'll open the voting on number 6. Yeah, and that is option 4. Okay. There we go. Celeste, are you?
Councillors instructing staff, but
Don't you tell her what to press. Real good. Right, the voting is finished on that one, item number 6. So that's approved. Thank you very much. Brilliant. Okay. So we'll now go to item 7, which I and Sam and I have put up item 7, option 3.
no, you need to know all the wording. So
Yeah, the wording is important.
unless those folk could quickly print off the table. So you mean the wording? Formally. Yeah, they're very official wording. Yeah, I know.
Okay. Happy?
Item 7, option 3.
Item 7's up there. Item 3, as you can see on the board behind me. So I will open the voting for that.
Everyone's voted.
All good?
Yes.
All good. Thank you. Voting's closed. And we have... Thank you. That's very good. Thank you. Right, next one. Te Kaha surrounding streets. Option 2. That's number 8. Option 2. So we'll just wait for a sec for Katie to... Sorry, I've thrown all this at you, Katie.
That's all right.
This, yeah. It's instant.
Yes, this is option 2.
Item 8.
Item 8.
Item 8, option 2. We'll open the voting on that. Yep.
Don't forget there's 4 shadows.
Yes, yes, there is. Yes.
Last whale on side. Jake and Tyler.
Oh, really? I'm sorry.
All good. Thank you. Voting is closed on that one, and that is approved. Thank you very much. Number 9, option 2.
So yes, this is now item 9, option 2, as on screen.
Thank you. So you've got that item 9. So I'll open the voting on that one, please. Thank you very much. Voting's closed. Thank you very much. Everyone's getting the hang of it. So that is approved. Thank you very much. Right. The next one. Antigua Street, item 10.
Item 10, option 2.
You've got the council well in the red.
So this is, as you see on screen now, item 10, option 2.
Item 10, option 2, Antigua Street. I'll open the voting on that. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Voting's closed. That is approved. Thank you. And I think I might just do item 11 as yay and no, because the staff rec and what I said is the same thing. So all of those in favour of option 11, staff rec, please say aye. Aye. Against, thank you, that's carried. We will need to... Yeah. Okay. So we need to put standing orders back in. Do I need to move in that? Right, so I'm happy to move standing orders comes back in, and Pauline is certainly happy to second them. All of those in favour? Aye. Against, thanks, that's carried. We're now on to item 12, and Jake told me yesterday that he's more than happy